Okay, let's unpack this. You've shared some really interesting source material with us all about the job market for talent skills,
Mhm.
and, it's pretty clear right away that there's strong demand. But the real question from the source isn't just if talent is needed. It's more about where is that demand hottest and, well, why there? What's driving it?
hmm
So, yeah, our mission for this deep dive is to really get into the source material. We want to pull out the key insights, figure out which industries are really hungry for talent, and understand the specific data problems they're trying to solve.
Exactly. And what's interesting is how the source frames it. Talend, now part of Collective, of course, is central to data operations for a lot of companies. But, and this is the key point the source makes, its value isn't the same everywhere. It really peaks in certain sectors because of their specific, often complex data challenges. So understanding this landscape, it's vital. Whether you're looking for a job, maybe trying to specialize, or if you're building a team. Knowing where the need is sharpest, well, that gives you an edge.
Right. It's not just knowing the tool, it's knowing where to apply it for maximum impact.
Right.
Okay, so let's jump in. Where does the source say talent skills are really shining? Which industries?
Well, the source definitely highlights a few key areas. Financial services and insurance pop up right away, big reliance there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Finance, insurance, huge amounts of sensitive data, high stakes. What specific pressures are driving that talent demand, according to the source?
You hit it. The sheer volume, the complexity, it's massive. The source talks about managing intricate data for things like regulatory reporting, obviously, also fraud detection, building risk models, and a really big one the source mentions, integrating all those older legacy systems that just weren't designed to work together.
Ah, the legacy system integration problem. Always a headache.
Always. And the source points squarely at the strict regulations as a major driver. Think SOX, GDPR, CCR, and the U.S. banking world.
Wow, yeah, those aren't optional. So it's not just about moving data, it's about
Mhm.
proving how you moved it, making it auditable, compliant.
Precisely. That's why Talend is so important here, based on the source. It makes it really clear that Talend's governance and data lineage features, they're not nice to haves. They are absolute must-haves. You need to show regulators exactly where data came from, how it changed. Talend helps build that required audit trail. The source maybe gives examples like needing to recreate old reports for auditors. Lineage is key for that.
Okay, that paints a very clear picture. Necessity driven by regulation. Let's shift to another sector this source highlights. Healthcare and life sciences. Also super sensitive data, maybe even more so.
Definitely high stakes there too. The challenges are a bit different though. The source mentions things like HIPAA compliance naturally, and that huge challenge of interoperability, getting EHRs, lab systems, billing systems, all talking to each other smoothly. Plus in life sciences, integrating all the diverse data for clinical trials. That's patient data, genomic data, lab results, often from all over the place.
So getting sensitive patient and research data flowing correctly and securely between systems.
That's the core of it. And Talon's role, as the source describes, is helping manage that sensitive data securely, keeping that crucial lineage for audits and trust, and ensuring really high data quality. Because, I mean, think about it, an error in patient data or in a clinical trial. The consequences could be severe. So data quality, supported by tools like Talend, is absolutely paramount for safety and research integrity. The source might mention, say, using Talend to cleanse data before it hits a critical system.
Right, data integrity is life or death, potentially.
Huh.
Okay, from finance regs and patient safety. Let's go to manufacturing. Feels different. Physical processes, supply chains. What's the data complexity there?
It's a different flavor of complexity for sure. The source says manufacturing involves connecting a real mix of systems. You've got your ERPs, then data streaming from IoT sensors on the factory floor, PLM tools for design, and those super complex global supply chain systems.
So connecting the dots from raw materials all the way to finished goods.
Exactly. And the value Talent brings, according to the source, is enabling that integration. It's not just reporting. It fuels things like predictive maintenance, fixing machines before they break, optimizing supply chains, improving quality control by analyzing data across the production line. The source might even touch on using that integrated data for better cost calculations or faster troubleshooting.
Okay, so integration driving real operational efficiency. Got it. Last one the source focuses on. Retail and consumer goods. Fast-paced, customer-facing. What are their data challenges?
Retail. Yeah, the source points to the goal of creating that single view of the customer. Pulling together online clicks, store purchases, loyalty data, service calls, everything. They need data for demand forecasting, for marketing analytics, and for personalizing the customer experience, recommendations, targeted offers, that sort of thing.
So using data to directly shape the customer interaction.
Precisely. And the source stresses something important here. It's not just the technical integration. It's about trusting that data for every interaction. If the data's wrong, your personalization fails, your forecasts are off, you lose trust. Talend, the source suggests, helps stitch it all together reliably, building that trusted foundation for customer-facing applications.
Okay, so we've covered the big four from the source: finance, insurance, healthcare, life sciences, manufacturing, and retail. And the why behind the talent demand in each compliance: safety, efficiency, customer trust.
Yeah.
Now let's make this practical. Based on the source, what does this mean for you, the listener? Let's start with data professionals.
Yeah, the source has some direct advice. Basically, align your skills with one of these high-demand sectors.
So don't just be a general talent whiz, become a talent expert in healthcare or for financial compliance.
Exactly. The benefit, the source says, is learning the specific domain challenges, the regulations, the standards. Integrating EHRs is way different from CCRR reporting, right?
Makes sense. And the payoff for getting that specific knowledge.
The source puts it bluntly. It can make you indispensable. You bring the tech skills, and you understand their world, their problems. Oh, and another tip from the source. Really focus on mastering Talend's data quality and governance features. Hiring managers in regulated industries apparently look hard at that.
Great advice. Now, flipping it. What about leaders and recruiters trying to find this talent? What does the source suggest?
For them, the source says look beyond just the technical checklist. Yes, they need talent skills, but seek out people who understand the industry context, people with domain fluency, as the source calls it.
So ask about HIPAA or manufacturing processes or retail customer journeys, not just talent components.
Exactly, and the source explains why that combo is powerful and frankly rare. Someone who gets both the tool and the business context can translate needs into solutions much better. They bridge that IT business gap.
Right, problem solvers, not just tool operators. Okay, and finally, how can companies attract this talent, according to the source?
Key insight here from the source. Don't just say we use Talend, that's boring. Instead, talk about the problems the recruit will help solve. The source gives examples like fight financial fraud, power real-time analytics, support clinical research, optimize manufacturing.
Frame it around the impact, not just the tool.
Exactly. Because, as the source argues, top talent, especially with skills like Talend, they're motivated by impact. They want to know their work matters, solves real problems. Highlighting that makes the role way more attractive.
Okay, this deep dive really confirms what the source suggested. Talent's a powerful tool, especially where data complexity meets tough requirements, regulations, operations, customer needs.
Absolutely. The source clearly points to finance, healthcare, manufacturing, retail as key zones where Talend's strength in governance, quality, and integration really shine. These are definitely hot areas for data work.
So whether you're planning your career or building your team, understanding this landscape where talent skills are most valued is crucial. It lets you focus your efforts, whether learning or hiring.
Which leads to maybe one final thought for you, building on that idea of focus from the source. Given where talent skills are most prized, how could focusing your expertise or your teams on a specific industry's challenges truly amplify your impact in a way that just being a generalist might not? Where can your skills make the biggest difference in the real world?